easy it is to watch a 2-minute TikTok of someone and assume you know everything and anything about their life and their personality. So I want to share some stuff you might not know about me. But also, I have to do this while getting ready. So let's pray that I can focus. So first things first, I speak in hyperbole. I just do anything that I can make sound funnier, louder, bolder, or more crude. I probably will, just because that's always been my personality. I think you would call it like a drama queen. Yeah, I think that's what I am. Like, Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen should be my life story. I know some people think I just quit my job and just decided to pursue social media the next day, but it definitely wasn't like that. I graduated with my master's in business journalism in 2023, and then I had a really hard time finding a job in journalism because I didn't have any experience. Even though I had my master's, I applied to like so many jobs and I would always like make it to the final round, but for whatever reason they just wouldn't pick me. Then I thought, hey, why don't I like help my husband with his comedy, because it's basically become a business at this point because there's just so much that goes into it. So basically I started to do anything and everything he needed. I would organize production calls, I would take notes, I would follow up with editors and camera people on deliverables, I would watch down clips and like clip out the parts that I think would be good for social media and like help with captions. I would book travel, which doesn't seem like a lot, but when someone is on the road every weekend and has like a staff, it's a lot because people are flying in from different cities and there's different hotels that people have to stay at, and it was just like really like a lot of work. And then I was like basically the run of show for like his special taping. So I had like my little clipboard and I was like, okay, the dance team goes now, then we have the host, then we have Akash. Okay, does everyone know their cues? I was like there at the rehearsals, I was working with the director and all like the production staff. So basically anything my husband needed, I was helping him with. Then in addition to all that, we were trying to get pregnant. So it was just like a lot going on. My anxiety was getting worse than ever. I've been really open on here about struggling with severe anxiety and OCD. I was talking to my therapist and we kind of both came to the conclusion that like, while it was always my dream to help my husband with his business and not have to work for a 9 to 5 because you just have more flexibility when you're working with your partner, it just wasn't like mentally stimulating enough for me. And that's kind of when I tried to find other avenues of things that I thought would be helpful or beneficial for my creativity. Obviously, I know that I'm coming from like a really privileged position of not having to work and like being able to find a creative outlet, but funny enough, I was like, okay, I just need to get a job in data analytics because then I'll be distracted and I won't have time to think about my thoughts. And both my therapist and Akash were like, Justine, I don't think that's gonna help you to where you want to get. I think that will give you like a band-aid, but ultimately not gonna like fix what's going on like inside your head. Everyone in my life knows how talkative I am, how passionate I am when I have something to talk about. So everyone was like, just try social media, just try it. Like, what's the worst that could happen? What's the worst that could hapen? I've seen the worst that can happen. But at the time, I was like, okay, why not? And I fell in love with creating content. I fell in love with like giving advice or oversharing or just like talking about my life experiences and connecting with you guys. I felt like I found what I've always been searching for. So if it's not clear by now, me and my husband tease each other a lot. It's just our love language. I use humor to cope with all the darkness in the world, and I just love it. Wait, why is this like so dark right now? Okay, I need to like blend the shit out of this right now. I'm gonna finish the rest of this story in the car because we have a Teresi reservation and you're not allowed to be late to Teresi. Hi guys, so
Oh, hold on. Did this bitch just try to claim in some third hand way that she was somehow responsible for Akash's comedy career? Was she trying to imply that? She was like, I was working, I have a master's in data analytics, but I couldn't get a job. So, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, by the way. How do you have a master's in something but can't get a job? So I just decided to go help my husband with his comedy career. I did this and that and this. Could you imagine the look on his face when she said that to him that day? He's probably, oh, great. And then he ended up with this. I mean, this woman has now just officially ended his career. I mean, look, Akash, I like you and everything. And Akash tried putting the kibosh on her whole little thing. Because if you remember, the day they dropped that flagrant episode with her, responding to all the drama, she posted on Instagram she was in the studio with her bestie and they were going to drop another episode of their podcast. That never came out. Akash was able to put the kibosh on that. Kibosh. But she's doing this now. Now claiming responsibility for his comedy career. She did nothing but almost just she has now just officially ruined his career. I mean, look, like I said, I like Akash. I mean, him going off on that British dude was weird, but I kind of still like him. But like, now you don't want it with Mark Maron, Akash. Like, now you don't want it with anyone in any way, shape, or form. Because not only are they going to bring up the fact that you're a cuck, but now that your wife helped you with your comedy career, ugh, do you think this is the stuff you had to tell her to get her back? Because remember, when he was struggling financially, she left him for a couple of months. And he probably came back like, you can help me, baby. You can be on my team. Just wash your turban or something. I don't know, but the fact that she is still out here, she was probably like, all right, baby, no more podcasting, but I'm still going to do my TikTok videos and Instagrams. And he's like, just don't embarrass me. And then she says she's responsible for his comedy career. Wow. He needs to put a muzzle on her. Put some curry in the muzzle and put it on her. Lock her in the basement of the Quickie Mart. I don't know. But she's out here still just embarrassing this guy. Poor little Akash. How much of your new special did your wife write, by the way? By the way, I mean, we've all seen her TikTok videos and stuff. I mean, the comedic instincts of Jasleen Singh. Oof, my God. See her fingerprints all over Akash's career. For her to actually claim that this person who's never worked an actual real day in her life, who's just gone to school her entire life, and they're like, you know, one day I decided to help Akash. Now I'm going to be an influencer. Like Shab's wife. Start a home decorating business. We're not actually going to do any or sell any product, but I get to say that I own a home decorating business. Ugh, pathetic. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.